like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Hello, how's everybody doing? It is 2:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, January the 24th, 2021, and I'm the Angry Angel, and this is Ask an Angel. That's it. I gotta remember that. One of these days I'm gonna remember that. Yeah, hello, good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Got my coffee, got a shit ton of questions, and I'll get to in a moment. Welcome to everybody at YouTube who are going to be watching this video later. If you do like the video, please click like and subscribe and blah blah blah, you know what you're going to do. Just a disclaimer to everybody watching on Twitch and on YouTube that I am not a professional. I am not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, no form of counselor. I'm just a regular guy who just has a gift for giving advice. And I don't proclaim to be the best or anything like that. I'm just a guy with a show who answers questions. I've always been able to answer questions, and ever since I was little, random people coming up to me asking me questions, and I've always appreciated a good ear, somebody who can listen, and that's all it really takes in this world. Really, sometimes just take a moment to help somebody out. And that's why I advise to anybody, you don't need a platform to do. You've got a friend or somebody who seems down, just walk up to them and say, hey, are you okay? Sometimes they'll turn around and they'll open their heart to you, and they'll tell you. Sometimes they'll go, oh, I'm fine. They'll give the generic answer, oh, I'm fine. Because quite often some people are just embarrassed to really say what's going on in their life. And that's what I like about this show is you don't need to feel embarrassed. One, I can't see who you are. And I get some crazy questions. I get some simple, basic questions. Then I get some pretty fucking wild ones. One I had to ignore. It was a very, very, very sexual one. Not ignore, I've responded to them. But it was highly sexual. And I'm not sure exactly if I can answer that on here yet. But once I get some kind of confirmation that I can answer that stuff, I think I'm allowed to answer. I'm just not allowed to show things. Because I am considered a mature channel. Which means it's like the underage ones are not to be coming in here. Which I've also wondered if maybe that's what's costing me people coming and viewing me. I'm not sure yet, but it is what it is. But yeah, so what else was I going to say? Have I gotten everything? Got the disclaimer. Yeah, as I continue the disclaimer, so knowing I'm not a professional, I hold no responsibility for your decision on what you are going to do with the information I'm going to give, with my advice. If you decide to end something or continue something and it doesn't go the way you were hoping, I give no guarantees. I just give you my advice. So I'm not your mommy. I'm not your dad. I'm not your... Yeah. You're responsible for your decisions. Also, I'm not going to sugarcoat my answers. I'm not going to necessarily give you what you want to hear. I'm going to give you what you need to hear. I'll try to do it in a nice manner. I'm not going to be mean about it. Unless, of course, you really deserve it. Yes, I've been known to call people. I put people on the spot and call people out. I got no shyness to that. If I think you're being an asshole, I'll flat out say you're being an asshole. But yeah. Let me get to the first question. I've got 13 of them in total. This one doesn't quite actually fit on the screen, so I'll just be reading it to you guys. Oh, excuse me. Such a pig. Oof, I've got a bit of a headache too. Alright, why is it not showing up? Alright, from Jenna. Please, okay, advice please. Where'd you go? My husband just admitted to me that 2 years ago, when we first got married, that he cheated on me with this bitch Michelle. You know what? I'm just gonna remove that name. Didn't even notice that. Let me just correct that. Oh, I didn't do it on there. Let me just fix it there. I have to make sure that doesn't show up on YouTube. This bitch Michelle. Sorry, Michelle. While I was at working my ass off to pay bills, she was supposed to be my friend. Okay, maybe I'm not so sorry. Well, I'm sorry that your name's out there, but she wasn't. He is always blaming me for everything and makes me apologize when he is in the wrong just as much as I am. I have never cheated on him, not once. My husband is a hypocrite. He will always post things on Facebook about loyal and shit, when in reality he is not loyal himself. I'm not saying I'm perfect and do not do no wrong, because I show you, I'm not perfect. I have lots of issues and I get very emotional when I'm stressed out, hence the calling her out on her name. I just got into therapy for PTSD and severe anxiety, so I'm trying to work on myself. My husband shows no emotion whatsoever, and I hate that about him so much. I don't think I want this marriage anymore, because I'm so heartbroken from him cheating on me, because he assured me that he is not like that and would never do that because he has morals and was brought up to cherish a relationship. But I feel I can't trust him at all. There's a lot going on in this question, in all of this. It's not. Yes, do I think you should end the relationship? Not for the reason you're thinking, and not necessarily give up. You don't really sound like you're actually in love with them. It sounds like you have got a lot of arguing, got a lot of. You might be. I mean, let me just ponder this a second. You're clearly in love with them, because otherwise you wouldn't have wrote all this out. You clearly don't want the relationship to end. If you want the relationship to end, the person would just end the relationship. But you wrote all this out, so you're trying to hold on to something. So there's number one. But it's not just trust on you or him. You sound like you both have trust issues. Now, I don't know everything. I don't know your whole situation. You've said he admitted. Now, this is something that caught my eye right off the bat. He admitted to it right away, that 2 years ago he cheated. I really would love to know about that conversation. Was it cordial? Was he going, hey, just, I wanted to get this off my chest? If it's kind of like that, that's actually not a bad thing. I mean, it's bad that what he did, but you gotta give him kudos. It took a long time. You gotta look at it in the fact that he did finally admit to it. Quite a lot of people, they get into relationships and then they cheat, and quite often they feel so guilty in themselves that they don't want to admit it. They don't even want to face it themselves. Especially if he's, as he says at the end, that this is I have morals, blah blah blah. Not knowing what caused it, what led to the cheating. Was it drinking? We were both drinking, and it's not an excuse, but in the way it is, it's alcohol can weaken all kinds of. This is a known fact. Everybody knows this, which means if that's a known thing, it's still there. So it's an excuse, but not an excuse, right? What could if we know that people's willpower gets weakened with alcohol, then what should have happened is, and even on you, the friend shouldn't have been left at home with the husband to drink. I don't know what happened. I'm just tossing this out there. I'm by no means giving an excuse for your husband. I'm not defending him in any way, shape, or form. I'm being massive devil's advocate. For the first part, it did sound like you were trying to just blame him for everything. It's his fault for him and your friend's fault for sleeping together. But you mentioned that he's always blaming you, but you were, for a good chunk of the time there, when I was reading, it came across like you weren't saying that you were doing anything wrong yourself, and then you did finally admit, I'm not perfect. And then you go into PTSD, which I'm sorry that you're going through that. That's never a good thing. Maybe that's, as I said, not an excuse, but maybe that's something that's triggered it. But it was when he's got married. You sound like he's got issues big time. I think marriage counselling would be definitely something that you need for sure. I think the cheating is kind of like, it's not the problem, it's a symptom of a bigger problem. Maybe part of the PTSD, maybe he's got some other issues, maybe, but it doesn't sound like you want to end it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking this question. So I think marriage counseling would be at least a step. Even if it's the last step, I think it would be a step. A better option to figure out what's going on. Has he cheated since then? I don't know. If he's not, then 2 years, it was a shitty thing that had happened. He admitted to it. He sounds like he's apologized, I'm assuming. And you say he doesn't care, but if he didn't care, he wouldn't have told you. You give the impression that you don't think he cares. I think he cares more than some guys, a lot of guys, hell, women as well. There's guys out there and girls out there that don't know exactly how to express care, or it sounds like such an easy thing, and for the most part, it really is. But there's a lot of people out there that just don't know. And it's sad, right? It could be the way they brought up. It could be, who knows, right? But as I said, I'm not making an excuse for him, but I don't think your relationship is necessarily over, because there's things you can do. You just need to communicate and need to decide together. Do you want to continue? Do you want to push on past this? Can you push on past this? You need to decide yourself. Work out some kind. It's like, you know what? You've got PTSD. You're probably taking medication, seeing people about it, right? You working on it. Well, that's the same thing as a marriage or a relationship. It's something that you would want to work on, or you don't. If you don't want to work on it, then yes, both of you need to move on. Right now, you haven't said if you've got children. If there's children involved, it's a little harder. If there's not, it's a little bit easier. But at the same time, you need to decide if this is what you want to do. Can you look past it? I would definitely not leave your husband alone with your friend Michelle again. Michelle, if you happen to come across this thing, bad. But at the same time, yeah. If there's something you want to work on, you want to make work, go for it. But get help for the both of you. See counselling. All right, I've beaten that question to death. Let's get to the next one. There's about 13 questions in total today. And they range. None of them are sexual. Not really. Kind of. I think one is kind of. It talks about sex, but it's not really sexual. One of the questions that was asked, but I couldn't answer, was referring to about having sex and anal and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I'm able to answer that kind of stuff on this. Once I've got these, I'll answer them. Once I've got confirmation that I can. I'm still waiting back from Twitch to tell me if I'm allowed to answer stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, question number 2 from Naya. I think I'm just tossing it out there. I'm gonna call you Naya just because it's the closest thing I can. Okay. Starting to feel lonely in my relationship. I asked him to spend time with me, and he said he is. Being in the same room while he is watching TV or falling asleep on the couch is not spending time together. What can I do? Explain what you mean. Communication doesn't just end at a simple question or complaint. Sometimes you need to, and it's on both parties. He feels that, or what you're asking, he is, right? If I put, if I mix 2 ingredients together, I get something, right? They're together. The idea of being together, you can. So to him, he's in the same room, he's doing things together, watching TV together. He's taking the word together. You are together. I'm picking up from what you're saying that it's more. You're wanting more of let's go out and date. Let's go out on a date night, stuff like that. That's what you need to state. You can't expect people to read through the lines and shit like that. Read between the lines. People are not mind readers. Some people can, some people can't. Some people can take hints. Some people are so busy that they can't take a hint, right? It's not that they're trying to be mean or anything like that. They're not picking up on the signals. Some people are not experienced in relationship enough to read signals and shit like that. So instead of trying to fucking do Morse code for the bloody, just fucking say, hey. And why does he need to be the first one to make the move? It is 2021. You want to go on a date, say, hey, you know what, let's go watch a movie together. Right? Don't necessarily rely on him to make the move to go and see a movie. But state this. State, when I say time together, I don't mean just sitting in the living room and watching TV. Tell him what you want him to do. Give him thoughts and ideas of what you are talking about. Not just, because you're just saying we're not spending time together. Well, you are. You're just not doing the fun and exciting and shit like that. Yeah, don't mince words. Just say what you really mean. Don't beat around the bush. Because that's, I'd say right now, from what I'm seeing, I would assume that you're spending time together. And falling asleep on the couch? Are you in a different couch? Are you in a different room? Well, you're technically spending time together. I mean, him falling asleep, you're not really doing anything. You're not doing things together. You are spending time together. That makes sense. Yeah. Right. I think question number 3 is next. All right. From Tanya. I really gotta find a new fucking tune. All right. Question number 3 from Tanya. Tanya says, so I have something that bothers me and I want to see if I'm justified in my feelings, or am I making a big deal over nothing. So I left the house around 2:30 p.m. It is now 11:20 p.m. and my fiance hasn't called or texted me to check in. It bothers me because he never checks on me no matter how long I'm gone. Anything can happen. It doesn't feel like he cares about me and my safety. Okay. It's a good one. Okay. I think you are making a big deal and you're not making. I think you're kind of 50-50. I get what you're saying. You think because he's not, hey, what's going on? Majority of girls out there, I can tell you right now, if the guy was messaging them all fucking day, they're going to think he's super fucking clingy. Why won't he leave me alone? He's always checking in on me. I'm a big girl. That's what they'll come at them and say. So when the majority of the world is being shown on fucking talk shows and movies, that attitude is very stalkerish, very, you don't trust them. When they're told this, guess what they're going to do? They're going to not necessarily message. Now, yes, he's probably concerned at 11:20, but he's not wanting to hound you. It could be that he thinks you're cheating. It could be, but really, that what he's telling you right here by not messaging you, to me anyway, is that he actually trusts you. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. However, you are right. He doesn't know if at 11:20 that what's going on. He doesn't know if you're safe. You know what you could do? Why haven't you texted him? Hey, just a heads up, I'm okay. I'm just checking in. You can also message him. Why are you waiting for him to make the move to find out if you're okay? Message him. If it was the reverse, and he was out at that late at night, would you be wanting to message, or would you be expecting him to message you? I can almost guarantee from the way you're talking right now, you're the kind of person who's probably going to be going, oh, why isn't he messaging me? He's been out all this time. Anything could have happened to him. Stop going, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Why haven't they? Why haven't they? Why haven't they? Stop pointing blame. Why haven't you? Why haven't you sent him a message going, hey, just a heads up, I'm okay, how's it going? It's not that he doesn't care. It is that he trusts, for sure, without a doubt. Could there be something there? By a stretch, yes. By a stretch, you could go, oh, there could be something he just doesn't care. But I mean, the fact that he's your fiancé, he clearly cares a little bit. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said, hey, when you get married? Or however he put it. Clearly, if he's interested in marrying you, or wants to marry you, and you're engaged, he's taking the time to do that, he cares. He's just showing you some kind of respect. That's the impression I get. Could be wrong. Hope it works out. Do I think you're justified in your feelings? Everybody's justified in their feelings. Absolutely. I'm not saying that you're not. Do I think you're making a big deal over nothing? Yes. And I think you need to really take a look of why haven't you messaged him to let him know? He could be worried. He could be trying to show some respect, but really shitting himself at home going, what the fuck? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Ease his mind. Let him know that he's safe. That's just my thought. Anyway, let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4. I really want to get this all fucking more mainstream and a lot easier. I'll figure it out. All right. So, question number 4 is, I didn't even write the name down. Well, I'm sure you'll recognize your question. Is it wrong to want your boyfriend or girlfriend of 2.5 years to be affectionate and thoughtful? Is this a real question? No, it's not wrong. However, if I'm reading this correct, I'm assuming that your boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever you are, because I don't have a name, is not being as affectionate as they used to be at the beginning. In most relationships, at the very beginning, and this is something I try to get people to understand. At the beginning, when you're meeting, it's all wonderful and sweet, and you're all trying to like win each other over. You're trying to attract each other. It almost feels like a fucking job, but a nice job, a sweet job. It's like going to imagine a company that you work for at the very beginning. It's all new, it's all fresh, and that job feels amazing. And after about a few weeks, a few months, a year, you are looking forward to having the fucking weekend off because you've been doing this. Now, I'm not saying he's wanting time off. I'm just giving an example of what happens over time. See, a similar thing happens in a relationship. At the beginning, it's all sweet and awesome, and you're trying to impress each other, and then once everything, usually about 3, sometimes 6, sometimes a year, the couple kind of gets comfortable. This is a wonderful relationship. I don't need to worry. They're not going anywhere. We've been together this long. This is one that's going to last forever. And it's kind of like saying the honeymoon period is over. For some, it is within a few months. For some, it's in a few years. It sounds like that is there for both of you. But there is always a time when you're both going, well, they're not doing anything. What? Do they not love me anymore? Same as the person before, right? The missing little elements that needs to happen. And communication is usually the best thing in all. I fucking push on this like a motherfucker. Communication. Fucking say what you feel. If you're feeling that he's not being affectionate or thoughtful, try just being affectionate yourself. Go up to him and nuzzle into him. Or her, or whatever. Or just do something and see about the return. The return, it's almost like a bouncy ball. You bounce off a wall, comes right back. Do this, see if the affection comes back. I can almost guarantee it will. But don't necessarily wait for your partner to do something first. Just sometimes even just say randomly, hey, I love you. What's that for? I just wanted to tell you. Just want to take a moment and just say, hey, I love you. Or just grab their face. Hey, I love you. No. I love you. They might feel it kind of weird at first, and then they'll feel it, and the affection should come right back. Just give it a try. Okay, question 5. Question 5. Okay, question 5. From Simon. Simon asks, today I'm going to seek therapy because my wife abused me. For 3 years I've been abused physically, emotionally abused. At this point I fall in a deep dark place. I hate myself. I don't know who I am anymore. She called me fat, ugly, dumb, retarded. The list goes on. And then I said to myself, my wife hate me. Oh, sorry. Said to myself, why my wife hate me? She treats her baby father better than me. I'm gonna assume this is like from a previous relationship. I wish you had you here so I could. Like, is this somebody that she's seeing? She's had a baby with another man while you're together? Because that's even more abuse. But I mean, to each their own. But we'll continue. I mean, you're considering abuse, so then it's abuse. If you're not liking it, if you're not happy with whatever it is, it's abuse. She told me not going to stop hitting me until I change and make effort. Last night I tried to leave. She started hitting me, saying, "You don't make an effort." I can't even say anything because if I do, she feel like I'm disrespecting. Has anyone gone through this before? I'm okay. Not quite that. I've been in a similar situation. Not physical. I dated a woman for 4 or 5 years. No, was it 3 or 4? I can't even remember. I've put that so far in my past. It's not even funny. It was a woman I met. I moved to be with her. The first relationship was great. It was quite wonderful. At the end, she had moved her ex into a house that I was paying for. And it was to help him out because he wanted to move closer to... Now, she had kids. The kids were very verbally abusive to me. At first, they were very sweet and stuff like that. One actually was autistic and stuff like that. And I was kind of like a father figure. I was a stepfather, right? And yeah, it ended bad because at the end, when the relationship ended, and she didn't really see anybody while we were living together. We still lived in the same house together because she couldn't go anywhere. Meanwhile, I'm still paying for the rent of this very large house. And I remember we separated our stuff. She lived upstairs, I lived in the basement. Looking back, I'm like, what the fuck? Why was I living in the basement of a house that I'm paying for? But what it is. And then, yeah, I remember at the end, it was a big argument that went on for like hours. And she said to me, yelling at the top of her fucking lungs, "Why are you still here? Nobody likes you. Nobody wants you. Just go the fuck away." And I'm paying for this house. I'm paying for the fucking bills. And I should be the one to go away. I went downstairs and I was in a very dark place as well. Like, extremely. That night was a very massive fork in the road. I almost did something that I would have regretted. Or actually, I wouldn't have regretted because I wouldn't have known about it. I'm not going to say what I would have done, but it was dark. And I remember crying my fucking eyes out. Just having a complete fucking breakdown. Because I had nobody. My parents hated this woman. Yeah, my entire family hated this woman. But I woke up in the morning and I told myself, like, after falling on the floor and just fell asleep crying, that no, I'm strong. I'm who I am. Who the fuck does she think she is? And I went online, and literally it was the weirdest thing. I actually that night, that day, I met my wife online, on the internet. I wasn't planning on it. I just wanted to go and talk to somebody who wanted to talk and meet somebody and maybe have a girlfriend or whatever and move on. And my thought was eventually, I'm going to get back on my feet. If she's not willing to fucking move out, I will move out. I was going to find my own place. And it ended up being that the woman I met a year later, I ended up marrying very happily. And massively grateful for the universe making me snap out of the weak feeling I was having and going, you know what? It's not that I don't deserve her, it's that she doesn't deserve me. Same as your situation. This person doesn't deserve you. People make mistakes, people, right? They don't deserve to be abused the way you are being abused. That's exactly what you're going through. is abuse. She can't make you stay because it's against the law. She can't kidnap you. The reason why she's holding on for you, it sounds like she wants to keep you. It sounds like she actually doesn't want to lose you. And she's asking you, instead of leaving, make an effort. You know what? Fuck that. Bye-bye now. Fucking stand on your feet. Move the fuck out. If you can leave, leave. Guess what she's done? She's got herself to blame. She can fucking rant and rave and whatever. Go be happy. You deserve to be happy. This, not okay. Tell her you want a divorce. Bye-bye now. Have a nice life. And then find somebody who appreciates you for you. Because she's out there. She is. Who won't be hitting you and shit like that. Nobody should. Don't stop. Like, last night I tried to leave. Don't try. Leave. There is no try. There is only do. To quote Yoda, get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there. Fuck, you'd be better off sleeping in your car than dealing with that shit. Leave, get on your feet, and show the world that you are worth it. Because you are. But anyway, that's that one. That's question 5. It's kind of an emotional question for me. Okay, well, question number 6. Boom! Question number 6 from Jamie. Why does race have to matter so much? Has anyone else got rejected because of their skin color? I will say yes, I have. Yes, I have. But not in the way you would think. And it shouldn't matter. It doesn't. It really doesn't matter. None of it matters. None of it matters because we're all fucking human. If you're talking about race as in you want to have sex with a fucking dog or anything like that, that matters. No. If you're talking about just color of the skin, no, it doesn't matter. That's silliness. Where you're from, as long as you can speak the same fucking language, as long as you are both of legal age, as long as you both like each other, that's what matters. That's all that matters. However, my story was where race kind of got in the way, as I dated this Filipino girl a long time ago. Beautiful woman and very sweet, but she had a family who very business minded and stuff like that, and she actually was moving from the Philippines. She was sent over to go to school and stuff like that, and college and whatever. However, her culture, her father definitely used her a lot for business meetings and stuff like that. Not to actually talk during the business meeting, but just have his daughter nearby side, a pretty girl. Because I asked her, I says, what do you actually do at these meetings? She says, nothing. She just stand there. And I says, okay, well, that's weird. And I says, anything else he has you do at these meetings? He has me dress in very business-like. Can you describe? And yeah, it was the skirt itself was extremely fucking short. And I'm like, yeah, he's flashing you about and trying to distract his business associates with his daughter's legs. But it takes on. But once I kind of pointed out what I was seeing, I mean, she was already rebelling already. She was actually she was just about to turn 30. Yeah, grown woman, and she'd never seen anything. There was so much she hadn't done, experienced, and whatever. I was very much for her a lot of firsts for her. I'm not gonna say what first I was. Yes, as I said, she was 30. Very sheltered life, very locked up, but because of one, my gender, No, not my gender, my race, my color. I'm from England. I'm from Canada. I'm from the Western world. Her father basically moved her back, and she didn't want to disobey her father. She was gonna leave. Like, I don't want anything to do with him. She was gonna stand alone, but her father just suddenly showed up, took her, and yeah, she didn't want to disappoint. She was raised to not disappoint your father. If you do, blah blah blah, you're gonna go to hell or whatever. I don't know, but she was, and I lost her. So it was not that she rejected me, but her family rejected me because of where I was from. I think he didn't also like because he wanted to be able to control his daughter and all that. But that's past tense. I'm not. But yes, it does happen. It sucks. It does suck. I don't know what your situation is, so I can't really speak on your part. But yeah, it happens. And no, it shouldn't matter at all. My opinion, no, it shouldn't matter at all. The only thing that should matter in a relationship is, do the two people like each other? Are they both of legal age? Can they make each other? Do they make each other happy? Yeah, then that's it. That is it. Okay, question number 7. Question number 7. Boom! I gotta create like music for that. I think that'd be cool. When I go from question to question, I wanted to pop up a video that maybe, I don't know. All right, question number 7 from Alicia. COVID has affected relationship living apart. How has it affected yours? Well, I don't live apart. I live with my wife, but I know lots of couples that it has affected a lot. A lot, actually. I've known couples to end completely because of it, because they live long distance or whatever, or they'll actually start to get cooped up together so much that they're in each other's face all the time. So yes, it covered. There's many different ways in which it affects the relationship, but the thing is you find ways. You acknowledge. If you're running along a road and you see a pothole, your options are you either stop running, run around the pothole, jump over the pothole. If you don't, and you put your foot in the pot, you're going to twist your leg. If you ignore that pothole, if you see it and ignore it and pretend like it's not there, and you do it, you're going to twist your leg. That's the thing. You acknowledge the dangers and you react to it. If you know that COVID can affect things, acknowledge all the possible ways that it can affect the relationship. You're going to be in each other's face. Maybe find some time to be separate. You can't really go places. There's no really any place to go. But do different things in the house for a few hours or whatever. If it's a long distance relationship and you're not really able to be together, set up Skype. Have calls through Skype and shit like that, so that you can be together. Here's one thing that works great in long distance relationship. I've done it and it's actually worked quite well. You get once in a while, once in a blue moon, you have like a date night, if you can set it up. It can be a little bit tricky, but get a picnic table or a picnic blanket. Make your food. Get your partner to make some food as well. Now, unfortunately, yes, the physical element is missing. You can't have a snuggle or whatever. But you have a picnic right there on the floor with your cell phones, tablets, fucking laptops, hell, Facebook even has this thing called Portal that connects up to your TV. And you sit together. You're not really together, but you just pretend. Pretend like you're together and talk sweet to each other. There's lots of cool things that can be done. You can even set up a way, like I've had a relationship where I couldn't be together with the person the entire time. You can actually set up like Netflix and stuff like that, or a movie, or even a show where you're about to watch it together, and so you've got it on your TV, and you're seeing each other on the phone, on Skype or whatever, and you but push spacebar to push play at the same time, and you count 1, 2, 3, hit the thing, so it times perfectly. You mute each other so you can't hear from the other person, but you see each other and you're watching it together. Now, things like Amazon, they have that built into it, so you can have like watch parties, and you can set that up with your partner where you can watch the same thing together through the internet. There's ways to do things, right? So should COVID destroy your relationship? No, only if you let it. Only if you let it. The only thing that can destroy the relationship is what you allow to destroy the relationship between you and your partner. If the relationship is, if something is that important to you, you'll always find a way to make it work. And yeah. Okay, question number 8 from Michelle. I wonder if this is, I don't think it's the same Michelle, but that would be funny. I'm in a relationship. I hope it's not the same thing as in Michelle. I'm in a relationship with a man who I believe truly loves me. Aw, and I truly love him too. Aw, he's my best friend. Aw, and the only person I feel like I truly be myself with. Unfortunately, we both have different love languages. What the hell does that mean? He's more of quality time kind of person, and I'm a physical touch kind of person. We spend quality time together whenever he wants, frequently, with no complaints. Because I love time spent with him. Sadly though, he does not like physical affection. A kiss once in a while, but he is not on holding hands or cuddling. I have tried to explain to him that I'd appreciate being cuddled at least once in a while, but it's somehow something he won't do. He won't cuddle. I know it's such a trivial thing, it's not, but I just start to feel like we are just friends when in the last months he's only kissed me once, and we don't do anything else physical. Am I asking too much of him to want to hold me once in a while? No, I don't think that's too much to ask. However, right, I would say you need to talk to him about why it's an issue. If he is that, can't hold, can't kiss, is there something behind it? Is it possible that something in his, usually when I've seen something like this, there's usually been something that scares him, scares the person from hold. I've been in relationships where the person is being scared to hold. Over time, I broke down the walls, but it's affected the relationship. But it's usually because, as I said, it usually stems from something that happened to them when they were younger, some kind of physical abuse, and they are terrified of touch. The idea of touch terrifies the fuck out of them. There shouldn't be an issue with the kissing. There should be, which means if there is something deep rooted there, it might not be that he doesn't want to be physical with you. It makes him uncomfortable. It brings flashbacks. It could be all kinds of things. I don't know. I don't know him to really tell you, but that's the vibe I'm getting from this. You need to decide if you can put up with that. Maybe try to talk to him about it. Go, you know what? This is something that's important to me. Physical touch. I need kisses. I need cuddles. I need... Express your needs as well. You're completely allowed. There's nothing stopping you. It doesn't necessarily need to end the relationship. Maybe even point out, hey, you know what? If this is not something that you want, maybe this relationship is not where we're supposed to go. He truly loves you. You truly love him. But you also need physical attention, and you should be happy as well, and so should he. He should want you to have the stuff you want. So maybe a compromise of having an open relationship so you can have physical contact with somebody. Doesn't mean the end of the relationship. I'm just tossing ideas out here. I'm not saying this is what you should do. Just tossing out ideas. Maybe even by suggesting this, he doesn't like the idea. Then maybe he needs. It could be a wake-up call to go. You know what? I might lose the person that I love very much because I'm scared of physical intimacy. Right? I'm not saying to do it and like really call him. Oh my God, that's stupid! I can't believe you won't hug me because of no. Acknowledge that he's hurting somewhere. Something's got him hurting when it comes to the thought of this, and if it means getting some physical help, some kind of like psychological help, seeing a psychiatrist, seeing a counselor of some kind, it might be what's needed. And tell him that you're willing to support him as long as it will lead to more open physical contact with somebody you love, because it's an important thing to you. If you can't hold your partner, it's not trivial. It's not trivial at all. What's the point of really having a relationship? I mean, if it's open, and I know, if it's like a long distance thing, and there's no way to touch, that's an understandable reason. If you're in the same fucking place and you can't touch each other, I understand if there's like some discomfort. Like, I'm very ticklish. I can't stand being tickled. So for a partner to touch me, it needs to be none of this gentle. That's gonna tickle the shit out of me. Touch, fucking hold, grab the fuck on. Not. So some people, they like that gentle touch, that gentle stroke. This, even myself, I'm fucking tickling myself. And I don't like it. It doesn't make me giggle. It makes me pissed off. I'm like, I'll break your bloody... I wouldn't do that, but that's what my instincts are telling me to do. Is break some fingers. But that's me, right? It's not because of past things. And yeah, actually, maybe it is. My uncle used to tickle me all the time. And I was always like, my neck, my sides, and I'd fucking hate it because he didn't know when the fuck to stop. And I'm like, no, this is actually now causing physical pain. I'm giggling and laughing and spasming so much on my sides that it is physically hurting. So I think there's a connection there to why I don't like being tickled. Because it does. It actually physically hurts me. Some they actually like it, but your situation, I don't know. I do think he needs some kind of counseling to find out exactly where that fear of physical touch is coming from. And if it's something that maybe you need to open the relationship up so you can get physical contact. And if not, then you either need to compromise or move on. Because while you might stay together, let's say you get married, you know, I'm going to put up with it. Eventually you will resent them. You'll resent them because it's something that you need that you can't get. And if he's not willing to give it, you need to get it somehow. No, I do not think there's anything wrong with you. Or that you're asking too much. I think he's asking too much by... Yeah. Oof. Okay, question number 9. Question number 9 from Chris. I make a lot less money than my wife and very concerned that she resents me for it. Please, if you could give any advice. Also, could you ask the females in your chat if they would be with a man who makes a little less of income than them? Well, you ladies have heard the question. Myself, I don't think it's an issue. Some women are raised that way, that the man should be making more. But in a world like today, it shouldn't matter, really. As long as the bills are getting paid. I Like this is your wife, right? You're living together. You're together. You're a partnership. You're working on. And what are you doing? Are you doing nothing at all? You're not even lifting a finger. You're not looking for work. You're not trying to improve or whatever. I mean, you're working. You're both working. You're both making money. Doesn't matter how much you're making or she's making, as long as the bills and shit are paid for, it shouldn't really matter. Doesn't make you any less of a man because you're making more or less. Doesn't make you more of a man because you make more or less. It's got nothing to fucking do with it. You're providing for your family. That's what counts. But yeah, it is. I've always more than a husband. I've always more than the husband. It's if he don't. Yeah, that's really it. And it's not really necessarily you need to contribute necessarily in money. There's women out there that they'll go to work and the husband will stay home and look after the kids. But they're looking after the kids. So they're contributing, not necessarily financially, they're contributing to the family in some way, right? Your job is looking after the kids. Or, I mean, I don't know what your situation is, right? I'm just putting it out there. It shouldn't matter. As long as you're working together as a team. But there are, I mean, have I been felt uncomfortable when the woman pays for dinner? Yes. It's not meant to be as a sexist thing. It's just the way I was raised, right? It's not meant to be sexist. Am I able to have the woman pay for the dinner or pay for this or pay for that? I've done it. I'm not a big fan of it. Because yes, I feel like a less of a person. It doesn't mean I am. It's just how I was raised. That's where a lot of these feelings come from. And because I acknowledge where that feeling comes from, I'm able to push past it. And that's the same thing as you. You're thinking this because of how society and how you were raised, blah, 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 the man makes more, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't really fucking matter. So you need to find a way to overcome that feeling, that instinctual voice that's saying you need to be the man. No. Yes, you need to be the man because that's what you are. But it doesn't mean that the man has to be the one making the money. Or the woman needs to be the one making the money. It's what you've agreed to. It's what the situation is. Right? It shouldn't matter. You shouldn't let it bother you. Smarten up. All right. Question 9. No, that was question number 9. Question 10. Here we go. Question 10. From Ricky. Love that name. My grandparents had a dog called Ricky. Not that it's in your dog, I'm just saying I've forced off the name because of my grandparents' dog was named Ricky. I still think about her every day. It's been 9 months since she ended our marriage, and 7 months since I've seen her. She still blocked me on everything. I just want to see her face and how she is going, what she has done in the past 9 months without me, and just want to know. Okay. It's hard. I absolutely know. It's why I always recommend people getting some form of closure to find out what ended the relationship. Because you still clearly are in love with the person. Doesn't mean that they are. Right? Probably moved on. I don't know what's caused the relationship to end. She ended it. Did she move on with somebody else? Did she find somebody else? Did you do something to upset her that she left you? Right? You need to find a way to move on. If she's blocked you, there's no way to get that closure per se. But frankly, the way you're talking could turn dangerous. You need to acknowledge that. Because you can't always know what a person is doing. Right now, their relationship was over. You're not married anymore. She owes nothing to you in any way, shape, or form. So you can literally, if you push on that to try to find out, you could find yourself in a lot of legal issues, even jail time. That could become stalker-ish behavior. You can want to know. It doesn't mean you get to know. So you need to find a way to move past this, it'll be a good thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll come back to you, but at the same time, she ended it. So tough titties on her. Go see if you can find somebody else that's better than her. That doesn't want to just leave you and then block you. You deserve better. I mean, I don't know as I said, I don't know what caused the relationship to end, but you deserve happiness. Go find it. Stop thinking about this one girl. Because I'm sorry, but there's millions of fish in the sea. Right? So, millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. You just need to find one that makes you happy. She's out there. Alright, question number 11. But yeah, figure that shit out before you, just move on. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in some serious trouble. Alright, question number 11 from Tabitha. Is it just me, or is it that time of the year when exes pop back into your life? You know, I've noticed that. There's actually a few. Around about Christmas time, around about Valentine's Day, and often around during the summertime. One, the Christmas time is because of memories and shit like that. Same as Valentine's, that romantic feeling kicks in. And if it's just like an ex that lasted for like a few weeks, probably wouldn't happen. But the ones that last a lot longer, those are the ones that tend to pop out of nowhere. Around about Christmas time, New Year's, around about, I'm going to make myself a New Year's resolution to be better. And then they come out and know, look at me, I'm better. But that's a New Year's resolution. New Year's resolutions are kind of weird. They're kind of like that kind of thing you do for yourself. I'm going to change my life, and here's the list of things I'm going to do this year to make that happen. 2 months into it, after they've fucking been drinking Diet Coke and whatever, to lose weight. They go, this is not doing shit, and then they stop, and then all of a sudden, for the next 6 months, it just continues the way it was. And New Year's Eve again, I'm going to change and be better. Some people, they actually get through that, and then they do improve. And they think because they've improved, the partner who's left them, oh my God, they are so fucking sexy, being all lost weight and shit. That must be what it is. And they tell themselves that this is what's going to happen. Right? They tell themselves around New Year's Eve, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. Look at the difference. And it doesn't do a shit. Stop fucking doing things to impress others. If you're going to do something, do it for yourself. And if it comes back, if things change, cool. But you don't need to go out of your way to... It's just silliness. Silliness! But yes, it does happen. For me, a lot of it is Valentine's Day, myself. Exes tend to message around about then. Actually, I haven't, last few years, I haven't really had any pop out of nowhere. Which is odd because I'm not going to get into that. Alright, question 12. There we go. From Ava. Yesterday, I asked for... What? I asked for the login. Yesterday I asked for the login to be able to access to get PayPal so I could track our finances better. You do all your finances on PayPal, okay? And know where our money is going. I was met with anger from my husband about the fact that I wanted to see what was there. It made me feel really uncomfortable. And this is hang on. From your husband. uncomfortable and insecure, and it really seemed like he was hiding something from me. So I changed the password of the account so I could access it, because I couldn't sleep because of so much extreme discomfort. This morning I woke up being yelled at that I didn't have the right to get into financial account without his consent. It is just as much my money as it is, and I'm the one who keeps track of all the finances, and I have been missing things because I don't know how much is being spent from there and on what. Am I wrong in feeling that way? No, you're not. That's a little weird, and I can understand why you'd be suspicious, especially if you're the one that's actually normally keeping track of the money. And to say that you don't have the right to the money, I don't know where you live, but if you've got a divorce, half of that goes to you and half of that goes to him. So yes, you have at least 50% right, as much as him, when it comes to the money. So I think he needs to go, you know what, I do. We're married. Hey, how's it going? This is just a talk show that I have where I just answer questions about relationships. But yeah, no, you have a right to know about the finances on all of it. All right, question 13. Question 13. From Karen. Where'd it go? This is actually literally the last question from Karen. So, any advice on FWB situations? I left a lengthy marriage a while ago, so haven't done this before. Hang on, right? So, if me and my girlfriend get married, I'm 15. Can I get married if I want to? That I'm not sure about your area or where you live in. You might need to wait a little bit. I know some places you can't get married till you're 16, and some even then sometimes you need consent. Yeah. But anyway, back to this question. So I haven't done this before. Candidata. I've never been to that country. Where is that? Is that Candidata? Yeah, I've never seen that. Never been there before. Anyway, I'm going to continue this question, then I'll get back to you in a moment. Can't spell. I thought you were in the US. You said you were in the US before. You keep moving about a bit. Canada. So I haven't done this before. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with friend with benefit relationships. They work. They can work, but if that's what you want to keep it as, try not to have feelings, and basically both need to be on the same page. Let each other know the expectations of what it's about, what's okay, what's not okay. But understand that feelings can pop out of nowhere, and decide, hey, this could go somewhere. Are you willing to? If not, do you shut it down? Kind of figure that out thing, that if feelings go, do we shut it down? Or do we just see where things go? Open communication, and communication is an important thing. Also, you need to know if you're going to be in a situation like this, what's okay when it comes to other people. Are you sleeping with other people? That kind of stuff. Important stuff. But in Canada, yeah, I don't know what exactly the legal age is in Canada. Actually, let me just take a look, see if I can see. Age in Canada to get married. Actually, you can't. Hang on. Here's what it says. Legally, you must be 18 years or older and not already married. There are exceptions to the age limit. You may marry with your parents' consent if you are under the age of 18 and over. So between 16, if you've got your parents' consent, you're legally allowed to get married. But you need your parents' consent. After 18, you don't. So, but if you haven't already proposed, if you haven't already done that, the other thing you could do is you could get engaged. There's no, I don't think there's a law to say when you can propose. You can have a fiance, so get engaged. Yeah, if you, hang on, I'm 15. 15, talk about it. At your age, you shouldn't be thinking about that anyway. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. I'm not saying that it's not something that you can want, but yeah, it's a tricky thing around that age, because if it doesn't work out, and at that age, it's funny because relationships, some do last long time, all the way to the end till they die, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they move on. They hit 20, 21, 22, and then all of a sudden they want something else. They want to see what the world is like, and it gets a little weird, right? So what I would recommend before even getting married, wait till you're 16, right? Then ask her, hey, would you be interested in getting married someday? Propose, right? And when you have an engagement up to the age of 18, plan to get married at a specific time, right? Set a date. You don't need to be in a massive rush for it. But yeah, that's my suggestion on all that. And yeah, that's really it. I don't have any more questions. I only received 13. So if everybody who's watching, if you do like this show, if you're late to it, this will be getting moved over to YouTube. If you haven't already clicked on it, right down below there's a little link that says YouTube. Just click on it, go click subscribe. I definitely appreciate if you did that. It would help me as a content creator, and that way you guys also get to see any videos that I post, from my gaming, from this show, from any of it. You guys get to see when I shove it up there. Shut up. But thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao.